What's up, guys? It's Vex. So today we're going to continue our talk about San Diego Comic-Con, and today we're going to talk about Blade.
There are worse things out tonight than vampires.
Like what?
Like me.
So if you've watched any of my videos on Blade, you'll know that I'm a huge fan of Blade. I think he's done so much for the comic books, and I think in movies too. Okay, guys, so if you guys watched my show, you know that I'm the hugest believer in that Marvel is the house that Blade built. I know a lot of people like to tote around X-Men and all that stuff, and granted, I'm aware that Marvel didn't make a ton of money from Blade, but without Blade, companies wouldn't be thinking like, oh, that's something we should be buying into. So, I get into that in another video. I'll link it if you guys want to watch it, but today we're talking about Mahershala Ali and being the new Blade. So yeah, I dig Mahershala Ali as Blade. I think it's awesome. I can't wait to see the glow up, the transform. Because I'm only assuming that this guy's going to be hitting the gym. He's going to be working out. He was cool as Cottonmouth. I took him as a real threat in Luke Cage. So I'm excited to see where he goes from here. Now, much like everybody else, I was happy to see that Wesley Snipes gave his okay with this, because Wesley Snipes made Blade. I mean, I do think that he didn't get a fair shake at Blade 3, both in the movie and outside of the movie. Like, he had a lot of people trashing him. I mean, I always thought Patton Oswalt was cool, but I don't think he ever saw the beef between David S. Goyer and Blade through the perspective of Wesley Snipes, who is not just an actor, but he's an African-American actor who is in this position of bringing this character to light, but also not liking certain things that vibe with them. Just for an example to point out, I guess there was an extra that was made to wear a shirt that said unwanted or something along those lines that didn't sit well with Wesley, and he asked for this young African-American actress or extra to change if she could get that changed, and David S. Goyer for some reason didn't like that idea. So in those terms, I don't think he got a fair shake in outside of making Blade. And then in Blade 3, companies do this a lot. We've seen this with Andrew Garfield and his frustrations with Sony, where he was shown a completely different script than what was shot. We've seen this with Fantastic Four, but I guess they did the old bait and switch when it came to Blade 3 with Wesley, where he felt that they were really trying to push in this spin-off movie with the Night Stalkers, and Blade 3 really wasn't about Blade. So with that being said, I am glad that he was in a place where he, gave his blessing. He said, it's all good. He told us fans not to worry. He told us Wesley supporters to chillax, and I will. What would be cool is if they gave Wesley the Whistler spot. I know a lot of people are saying that, and I totally agree with that. I immediately thought about that once the announcement was made on San Diego Comic-Con, and I immediately was like, yo, man, I really hope if they do the Whistler character, I hope they give it to Blade. Or see, that's how synonymous he is to me as Blade. I just call Wesley Snipes Blade, but I hope they give the role to Whistler to Wesley Snipes, and that's a new dynamic, because now you have an African-American orphan being brought up with a father figure that is Whistler, who's also African-American, and this also addresses the whole, where did Blade get his training? Because when you see Whistler from the old movies, you're like, I don't know how that happened. But alright. But if you see Blade and Wesley Snipes, it's more believable, because he's a legitimate badass. Like, he knows this shit. And so it's more believable that Wesley's Whistler trained Mahershala Ali to be Blade. I'm sorry, I had to look at my dogs over here, like, panting. I don't know if you can hear that. No, it's not coming up on my sound thing, so you definitely hear that, but I just had to make sure he was okay. So in other news, too, on this movie, like, I guess, like, I don't know how official this is, but if we're gonna take it as official, I guess Jordan Peele was offered the role of director for this movie. As much as I would love to see Jordan Peele direct it, I don't think Marvel's in there is not a phase that is ready for a Jordan Peele-esque movie. I think Jordan Peele has put himself in a lane where he's been writing and directing his own thing and letting his creativity flow. That to put him in a position where he now has to fit in a pre-cut cookie cutter, like, it's just not gonna, it's gonna spill out. It's just not gonna work. And I don't know. I think it would just leave a bad taste in Jordan Peele's mouth. I think it would leave a bad taste in Marvel's mouth. Like, I don't think that's a relationship that's gonna work out. And to kind of paraphrase, like, Jordan Peele pretty much said the exact same thing in his quote. Another thing which is pretty cool is that even though he turned down the idea of directing Blade, he is open to the idea of, like, helping lift up Blade. So maybe sitting him down with, like, a writing team or letting him produce would be amazing, which is also going to segue into this next part of my directors and writers. So a component to Blade, and I think this also would help with whoever's writing and directing this, is the street component. It was only ever really touched in the first movie, and I thought it was super cool, and it sucked that it was never brought up again. But, like, there's a scene where Blade walks into a pawn shop, and he pawns the gold and items that he steals from, like, his vampires or familiars that he beats up, and he pawns them. That turns into money that funds the operation and the people who are making the serum for him, that garlic extract. That's not that word. Extract. The garlic extract. I hope. But you only see that in that one scene in this movie, and I think, like, they should definitely bring that aspect back into Blade and be, like, a more grounded film. And for that, I think these directors and writers would be great. So, fresh out the box, I'm going to go ahead and say David Ayer. If they got him, I think it'd be really cool. I think that he's a person that can absolutely fit in a box. Suicide Squad, I know a lot of people say it sucked, but it was good, and it was good, it made money, and that was, like, a movie that was horribly edited by a trailer company. Like, basically what I'm saying is, like, if they pulled that movie out of what David Ayer directed, like, can you imagine if, like, Marvel said, like, here are the limitations, direct this, we're gonna edit your movie right? Like, it would just be fantastic. And he shoots these kind of movies. He writes and directs these kind of movies. Harsh Times. He was one of the writers for the original Fast and the Furious. And I think, like, this would work. I think it would be a good fit for him if they allowed him to. Also, Anton Fuqua. I hope I said his last name right. But you would know him. And he's most famous for doing Training Day. He directed Training Day, and Training Day was also a film written by David Ayer, which is another reason why I think he would be good for this. But yeah, Antoine, I think he would be super, super good at this. Like I said, he did Training Day, so giving him the opportunity to direct a Marvel movie, and again, I think he's a director that can fit in the cookie cutter form if they gave him limitations and said, this is what we're going to do. But I also think he has the perspective to shoot that type of street environment, that grounded stuff that was presented to us in the first Blade. Now, the last two people that are on my list, of course, Jordan Peele, I already spoke about that. I think, like, if they were to give him like a writing job and help him write the script. Maybe put him with a team with people. I'm not sure if Jordan Peele is like a team person or if he's just like, guys, I make magic, just let me do this. But I think he could easily write a script that touches on the base that not only is Blake an other in when I say other, I'm saying like he's the other, like humans compared to mutants. Not only is he an other as he's a vampire, but he's an other. He's an African American vampire, which makes him super other. And I think Jordan Peele could do a great job at writing that and telling that story as like this guy's. Not only is he like saving lives and killing vampires, but he's also alive during the whole Black Lives Matter movement, body cams and all this other stuff. Like that would be an interesting take to see. Now, Marvel pretty much plays it safe. The closest they got to taking a stance on anything was Captain America Winter Soldier, which was really anti-government, but here's hoping. In the last director, I'm gonna say is Justin Lin. He pretty much brought the Fast franchise back to life, and again, that deals with that whole like street life. And I think he would be another director who can get this off the ground, and like I think he would do amazing. So those are my picks. At the end of the day, I really hope that Marvel Studios respects Blade, because in all honesty, Blade, and with later help from the Mutants, X-Men, built this house. Blade is the builder of Marvel. Marvel is the house that Blade built. And I hope they put a lot of resources behind the man who helped their company get to the point where we could call this thing an MCU. So those are my picks, guys. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Let me know what you guys are liking. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to like this video. Make sure you hit that notification so we can comment and talk about this stuff in the comments. As usual, guys, I'm going to say thanks for stopping by, and I'll catch you guys later. I want to give a really big shout out to one of my most loyal subscribers, Kyrie. I am going to do a Nintendo Switch giveaway again, and I'm going to give away 3 of them, and right now I've been waiting to like give this out. I want to say to Kyrie, like, you automatically are getting one of these. So in reality, I'm giving away 2. And all you have to do is enter is to like and subscribe and share to enter it in this giveaway. And you guys could luck out and get a Nintendo Switch. And I'm not just giving away a Nintendo Switch, I'm giving away the Nintendo Switch bundle. And I think I'm going to have to bundle this myself, because I don't think Nintendo's doing a bundle with Pokemon on the regular Switches. I think they're only doing it with the Lite. So I'm going to bundle this myself. And as soon as the Pokemon games come out, I will be giving those away. I will be putting out dates in the description box or whatever. But yeah, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Don't forget the notification. And yeah, stay tuned to see who else gets the other 2 Nintendo Switches.